Hey guys, meet the new Honda Passport TrailSport Elite. That's a lot, but I'm here as part of the local automotive press where I get basically a half hour to drive a loop and review this car. So these are going to be quick takes. In other words, kind of a first impression. And let's start with where we always start, and that is the design. And as you can tell, it follows the current design language, making cars much more blockier. I think that the Defender actually started that trend, but I like it. It's less roundy, less pulley, and more chiseled, more square-jawed. The one criticism I have of the design has to be right there. This definitely fake hood scoop. I've always wondered, if you're going to do hood scoops, why not just make them real? And I had a conversation with one of the Toyota engineers, and they said that they have very specific numbers for engine temperature, and if you make these real, it changes that number. I don't know if that's true or not, but I'd still like to see a real one. So of course, the Passport has Passport prominently displayed on the front, and this is the new TrailSport trim, newish, which of course is part of this trend to make cars more off-road worthy. And you know it's off-road worthy because it's orange, and over here are orange recovery points. But you know what? It all works. And let's just have a quick sidebar about what makes something truly off-road worthy. Now, to me, if you're going to be a true off-roader, you need a low range. And of course, the Honda doesn't have a low range. That doesn't mean it's not good off-road. It just means it's probably not like full-on Moab worthy, but more dirt road or light off-road worthy. And let's face it, that's what most of us need when it comes to our off-roaders. All right, let's start where we always start, which is under the hood. All right, well, we start with the design, so we'll start with under the hood now. This is a 3.5 liter normally aspirated V6. Puts out, show you, 285 horsepower, which is plenty, especially when you pair it to a 10-speed automatic transmission. Let's put a pin in that because there is a little issue I have with this 10-speed. I'll show you in a second. But all in all, about as much power as you need and not too much, which is fine. I mean, let's face it, these Honda Passports are family haulers. Now, if you're wondering where the air comes through, it's right here, check it out. So there is an air scoop, it's just not where you think it would be. And this is a very peppy engine. Up here at a mile above sea level, it does suffer a little bit, but you know, what are you gonna do? Not everything can be turbocharged. And let's face it, a lot of people really hate turbocharging. The other great thing about this vehicle is it's big. I mean, look at the size of this. Tons of room. Cole, why don't you go around the other side, and I'll start in the back seat, and I'll show you just how much room there is. Keep in mind, I am kind of tall. We've got all of our gear here, and look at all this room. I'm sitting way back. I have plenty of headroom. I have plenty of legroom. I have my own climate control, including heated seats. How nice is that? I'm always a sucker for these privacy shades. And this, of course, has that kind of Honda honesty about it, where everything feels like it was built for somebody who values functionality over style. Not that there isn't style, but the utility and functionality of this vehicle kind of just permeates its pores. And I like that because it feels very honest. Big old sunroof, and of course, let's check out the back in this quick review. More squared off towing, of course. And then if we pop this, you'll see that there is a boat ton of room back here, including, let's see if there's what's underneath here. Look at that, a Space Saver tire with a little cubby to store, well, if you've got animals, you can store animal paraphernalia or all kinds of things that you don't want to keep out in public. But in all, it's just a huge amount of space. And I'm going to try something, Cole, because I'm curious. Let's see if it's a flat floor if we put this down. So let me put this down. Oh, look at that. That is completely flat. And I'm betting, all right, I'm going to do this. Luckily, I'm wearing pants and not shorts. I'm betting that this is at least 6 feet 2 inches, because that's how tall I am. Oh, look at that. Oh yeah, like 10 years from now when you guys go use this as an overlander, you're going to be able to put a mattress down here and have plenty of room. All right, so let's jump in the front. Remember I said put a pin in the transmission? Well, this is where we discuss it. Because it's part of this modern trend where the manufacturers are reimagining, reinventing everything. Honda has, I say unfortunately, reimagined the transmission. Now, they've been doing the push-button transmission for a long time. I still don't love it. Like, the only time this is kind of a pain in the butt, let me show you, is when you have to do this. So, put it in drive, and then let's say I got to do a short turnaround, stop, reverse, stop, drive, stop. Otherwise, it's fine, but it's under those conditions that it gets to be a little finicky. Now, all in all, like I said, there's a sense of like solidity that permeates this car. I'll close this so we get a little bit more contrast on the interior. A relatively good sized screen here. You've got dual climate zones, USB-C, which is nice. A little cubby hole, which I wonder if it fits a phone. I'm curious. I like the fact that it's got wireless charging, but will it fit my phone? It will fit my phone. So if you don't have one of the oversized ones, this could be a good place to store your phone. Even though I suspect this would be a better place. One of my favorite things, of course, is a leather-wrapped steering wheel, which I love very much. A heated and leather-wrapped steering wheel. Traditional-looking controls here with a tachometer to the right, tachometer to the left, speedometer to the right, and then you've got rear settings for your climate control, which is also very thoughtful. And in this elite version of the TrailSport, you've got both heated and cooled seats, which is also very nice. Now, in terms of price, this is the top of the line TrailSport, and what you get mainly with that is full-on leather, which is always a nice feature to have. I'm not sure. I'd probably get the Elite. I might get one of the lower trim levels, especially if I was going to off-road this. This feels more like the off-roady / city slicker version of the Passport than it does the true Passport off-roader, because let's face it, if you're going to take this off-road, you're going to probably not want to take something this nice and get it all dirty and muddy and dusty as you will. Let's give it a little bit of the beans here, see how it accelerates. It's okay. I think it's sea level. It'd be very quick. I mean, the 10-speed is going to give you plenty of gears to choose from. And all in all, one of my favorite things of this vehicle is it's got a very controlled and supple ride. Because people are going to be using this not to go on the Rubicon Trail, I'm guessing here, but to pick up their kids, take them to school, take them to the soccer game, bring grandma to church, and for that duty, it's almost perfect. Now, of course, this does compete with cars like the Toyota Highlander, any of the Korean family haulers, and so this is a very crowded segment, but Honda certainly does have a built-in fan base who prefer cars like this. Now, we're here outside of Ken Carlisle in Denver, or in Littleton actually, driving this very beautiful road, which makes for a good sense of how this thing handles these twisty corners. So let's see if I go into this curve, how it feels. Not a lot of body roll, not a lot of steering feel either, but that doesn't really bother me. Like I said, I'm not out here trying to carve canyons or run down cyclists. I'm just trying to figure out if this is a great car to have as a family hauler. All right, we're going to try to give the cyclist plenty of room so we don't scare them. I also bicycle a lot, so I appreciate when people in cars give me a lot of room. And sometimes, this is just a little quick aside, sometimes when I'm on my bicycle and I'm out here riding and a car is worried about me and kind of stays behind me until they feel like there's enough room, that actually kind of scares me a little bit more because I'm like, why isn't this car passing me? So keep that in mind for all you guys who are trying to give us cyclists a little bit of room on the highway. Don't follow people. It's a little creepy. All right, back to the review. The seats are very comfortable. Headrest is squishy. tons of headroom. It's just a very comfortable, honest family hauler. And unfortunately, like I said, with this, did I say quick or fast take? I don't have the ability to take it off-road, but we have taken this car off-road, and it was surprisingly good off-road. Now, there are different drive modes, and I'll show you those. So I can go from, if you show them over here, Cole, I can go from sport to normal to eco to snow, and then you've got trail, sand, and tow. So this car is trying to really do as much as it can without actually having a low range. And when you put it in snow mode or when you put it in sand mode, which I've done, and then you actually take it into that sand or snow, I was quite amazed at just how good this vehicle was off-road. And because it is a TrailSport, not only does it have more all-terrain tires, which is nice, but it also has some underbody protection. And so I feel like if you were looking at a Moab-worthy car, this is about as close as you're going to get without getting, let's say, a Bronco or a Wrangler, which are, very specific off-road vehicles that are very much, one-trick ponies, whereas this will kind of do it all. I'm going to pull over here and we'll finish up this review, and I'll give you a kind of a quick final impression. So I want to show them the tires, Cole, because this is a big deal, I think. The most important thing when you're off-roading is just how good the tires are. And these are General Grabbers, and they're very off-road worthy. I mean, we're looking at basically the same tire that is on our F-150, or same-ish tire that is on our F-150 Tremor. So that kind of gives you a sense of, how serious Honda has taken this. And let's face it, Honda, for some reason, builds really great off-road vehicles when it comes to motorsports. So I'm talking about the side-by-sides, I'm talking about their motorcycles, but when it comes to cars, they don't have a Bronco or a Wrangler or even a Defender or even a 4Runner true competitor. And this is as close as you're going to get. And if you don't plan on actually, hardcore Hell's Revenge trails, I think this is a fine choice, because at the end of the day, I would always say, buy your vehicle for what you're going to do with 95% of the time, as opposed to what you're going to do with 5% of the time. And so we tend to do the exact opposite, right? We tend to buy the off-roader for the 5% of the time we'll be off-roading it, as opposed to the 95% of the time we won't be off-roading it. Guys, we're going to do a lot more of these quick takes. Let me know if you like this format. I apologize for kind of the rushed nature of this, but I have 10 minutes to get it back and jump in another car. So I'll see you on the next one. As always, head on over to alltfl.com for more news, views, and real-world reviews. See you next time. Ciao.